What's going on, family? What's going on? We got this case here. Fanny Willis, man. Let's see what's going on with the district attorney down in Georgia, GA. You know, she putting cases on a lot of people. So now she seems to have a case on her. It's amazing how things go. You know, once you're the prosecutor, now you're defended. Amazing. So let's get right into this here. You here with Uncle Ism, and let's get it started. The Mac is speaking.
Welcome to the Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see we got a few people up in here, man. What's going on with y'all? We got this guy. Who is this guy, man? This guy right here, Truism, man. He say he Truism, man. I had to chop his head over rice, man. I had to whap and tap on his head over there at Reg the bad guy, man. He want to steal my name, man. Your name the Storm Crow over here. Your name is the Storm Crow, man. You from a alternate universe, man. But you all right. He was a good sport. He took it all in stride, man. I could say that two, brothers talked about each other, and then nobody had to talk about catching flights and all this other stuff. We roasted back and forth, and that was that. And we move on. So I see you over here, Storm Crow. You understand me? But ain't nobody colder than Eminem. You know what I mean? That's DJ Kuda. Call him, man. Double M, man. You understand me? He never sleeps, man. He never sleeps. He's all over the YouTube streets. You understand? So we got some people up in here, man. They doing some foul things, man. Miss Fanny, man. Miss Fanny got her Fanny cooked today, man. I wonder, did y'all see it, man? Miss Fanny, you know, she's dealing with this brother here. What's his name? Nathan Wade, man. Brother Wade. What's going on, brother Wade? You seem to got yourself, you know what I mean, in a bit of a mess here, man. But brother Wade say, man, I wasn't doing nothing. I'm doing what you're supposed to do, man. They got the DA want to get at me. And you brothers today was talking about, do men ever hit the wall? Just because you can make children. Some of y'all shouldn't make children, though. Some of y'all leave the children alone, man. We need some beautiful, peaceful children, some good people in society. Some of y'all ain't worth 2 cents, man. So y'all don't need to make no childrens. Don't make no childrens, man. Please. Please. We got enough gangbangers and hoodlums out here. And Miss Fanny Willis, man, she might want to, put a RICO on you, man. So be careful. LSP, how you doing, baby? I see you up in here. Now we got this case, and I'm gonna let you players pull up, man. Did y'all check out this case today? This is a cold thing here, man. We got brother Wade, brother Nathan Wade. He's been tapping that Fanny on Fanny Willis. Let's go.
Entertain you. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And so your answer to this interrogatory is false, is it not, sir?
No, it's not false.
Well, hate to dance
Somebody
around.
try to use big word.
The answer is yes, you did entertain as well as correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for my brothers, since Truism want to try to say his name is in the Webster's dictionary, and I told him my name is in the brother dictionary. Okay, so his name don't count. All right, the brother dictionary say IZM. He don't even spell it right. So watch how they say he was tapping that thing.
Hate to dance around it. The answer is yes, you did entertain as well as correct.
Look at it.
Right?
Yes.
She's not your spouse at that time or at any time, correct?
That's correct.
She's not related to you by blood or marriage, correct?
That's correct.
But you entertained her, right?
Yes.
And during the course from your marriage, the period of time up to the present, so the answer would have been, yes, I did entertain somebody, correct?
During the course of the marriage, no.
Mr. Wade.
Mr. Gillen, I think we made your point. I think it speaks for itself, and we can save that for argument.
I'll just follow up with
That's semantic.
You understand what the word present means?
I think we did cover that already as well.
Knock it off.
Now, what has happened from the time that you filed this court document in May of 2023, let's go over some of the things that you had been involved in terms of being entertained or entertaining. Prior to your filing on the answer on the interrogatories on May the...
There go to that word, interrogatories. You hear me, y'all? Interrogatories. That mean he been tapping that thing. Hey, bruh, have you been doing any interrogatories?
30th, 2023. We've already established, have we not, that you paid for a Royal Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas with Miss Willis, correct?
Yes, sir, with Miss Willis and my mother.
Well, your mother's not part of this interrogatory. I'm talking about Miss Willis, okay?
Interrogatories, man.
You paid and caused to be paid
Did you
approximately
break bread?
$3,335 on that trip, Bahamas trip from October the 28th
$35.
through October the 31st, correct?
Yeah, no objection, and we've said this ground several times already.
Mr. Young, let's cover new ground.
Well, I'm just trying to establish with specificity the things that he had done to entertain or be entertained prior to May the 30th, 2023. I'll try to move through it.
Sure. Well, that's already part of the record in terms of his prior testimony. And so if you want to link those two things together, you can do that during argument.
Well, so let me discuss this. You indicated that during the course of your explanation concerning the Belize trip, that Miss Willis paid you all that money back in cash. Remember?
Really, I can't remember.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I don't recall.
the Belize trip had just happened, hadn't it? That occurred in March 18th, 2023, right?
Yes, sir.
So
The courtroom is a cold performance. Look at this brother squinting. You know you tap that Fanny, you got to come to court. You got to put on your proper Sunday's best. You got to put on these little pendants from the police department. Courtroom is a cold performance. You got to do a lot of things. You got to come in here and squint your eyes like you don't understand, about the situation and the semantics and the specifics. And they're going to try to say all the big words that you can't comprehend that's too complex for your comprehension.
Because I don't want to give these people too much ism, you dig?
Let's keep it going.
you're filing this maybe 2 months after you have gone to Belize with Miss Willis, correct?
Again, I believe all of this is
I think you might be getting somewhere.
It's arbitrary.
Yes, sir.
It's arbitrary.
We got the trip in. We've got the trip in to Belize on March the 18th, 2023. You and Miss Willis, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, 2 months later, you file the interrogatories that speak for themselves that we've gone over a few minutes ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Y'all going?
the March the 18th, 2023, to state the obvious, is before May the 30th, 2023.
What was that? Somebody's phone? Was that somebody's phone? Fanny, your hips kind of square. She got some kind of square hips, but he was hitting that thing. What I always tell you, players. I tell y'all all the time, never trust. Somebody put it in the chat. Never trust a big forehead, light-skinned woman. Look at that forehead. Look at that forehead on that woman. You see that forehead? Never trust a big forehead, light-skinned woman, especially one that talks proper. Are you an idiot? They don't love you. They love theyself. What's wrong with y'all? What in God's earth is wrong with y'all? Please.
Get the ism, you dig? Come fill this ism, you dig? You dig? Dig?
I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help you, brothers. Okay? So, we got Brother Nathan Wade. He had to do what he had to do. He had to cook them little cakes to move up in the ranks. Women been doing it forever. So I don't see what's the problem here. Brother Nathan was doing his thing. Brother Nathan, let's keep it going.
Agree. Will you agree with me on that?
I do.
Okay. So then you tell us that Miss Willis paid you in cash all the money for the entire trip. It was a gift for you for your birthday, correct?
Yes, sir.
She was spending money.
I'm sure you probably have the deposit slips where you took the cash and deposited the cash into your account.
Who got the big face? Star P. Your face take up that whole screen, bruh.
Don't you?
I did not deposit the cash in my account.
You don't have a single solitary deposit slip to corroborate or support any of your allegations that you were paid by Mrs. Willis in cash, do you?
No, sir.
Not a single solitary one.
Not a one.
Now, when Miss Willis would pay you in cash, would you scamper down to the ATM with her and she drew money out of her account to pay you these thousands of dollars?
Scamper down. Look at his face.
No evidence
Did he scamper down?
Survey does. I object to the phrasing, the argumentative nature of the question.
All right, on that issue, overruled.
Show some fucking respect.
Did you and Miss Wade scamper down to the ATM machine and have her dry out. For example, on the Willis trip, just on your payment would have been $2,794.
Miss Wade,
For clarity, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Pardon me?
Miss Wade and I didn't go to Belize.
No,
I went to other places. Why are you trying to
Did
start with the
you go
semantics?
down to the ATM with Miss Willis while she drew out $2,794 to pay you in
You see that
cash?
star piece?
That you did you go to the ATM with her?
No, sir, she didn't go to the ATM. She carried the cash.
Oh, and so
carried
she would
cash.
give you the cash.
She broke
Did you
me
have a little
straight
place
cash.
in your house where you just stack up all this cash that you apparently got
This
to repay you for these
this right
benefits that you
here,
bestowed
this
on
is
her?
the deal with culture. See, different cultures deal and delve in different ways. They move around the earth in different ways. See, black people, he say she deal in cash. She's the district attorney, but she still paid in cash, man. You understand me? In the words of Randy Moss, straight cash, homie.
And Mr. Gillen, if I answered that, I'm putting myself in jeopardy. If I tell the world that I have cash someplace in my home, don't you think that could be problematic?
No, I don't. I want an answer as to whether or not
You
you
want
have
an
a cash hoard in your house
You say,
where
I'm
you have allegedly taken
answer
the
the
money
question.
that you got from Mrs. Willis and went and put it somewhere. Where'd you put it?
No, sir.
Which
Now, just put it on the hip. And can I walk around money?
Did I put it on my hip and
Yeah, just walking around money where you would spend the cash yourself.
pocket change, man.
Did I put it on my hip in Belize?
Yes.
Walk around with it?
When you got paid
Pocket
back,
change.
would you take the money, the cash that she gave you, and would you just carry it around with you for spending money around town?
So we have to break down each trip because, for example, for the cruise, she paid me the money before we took the cruise. So I was here and I could put the money in my pocket or put it away wherever I wanted to do with it. Other trips, she would give me the money there. So at that point, I could either spend it or put it in my pocket or put it in the hotel safe.
There's no special place that you would have
Man, she
all
broke
this cash
bread,
that you
man.
would be getting from her that you told us about.
She
that-
looked
to pay
out
back
and
for the
broke bread.
benefits that you have bestowed on her.
The only special place that cash would have gone would have been to one of my children.
Oh,
Now, are you aware? Have you discussed these
What's up,
pleadings with Ms. Willis?
No, sir.
So there's been no discussion
Yes,
between
Pete,
you
what's
and
up,
Ms.
family?
Willis about the allegation concerning the benefits that you have bestowed on her. Is that correct?
you have bestowed on her. Man, y'all better get y'all dictionaries out, man. They're going to help you with your
Overruled.
pronunciation. They're going to help you,
Okay.
you know,
When you said
get your
proceedings, we were
verbal
talking
skills
about the
together.
divorce
Listen to
proceedings,
court
we were talking about the interrogatories. To that question, the answer is no.
interrogatories.
You're
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with your answer. I'll hear the complete answer, then I'll follow up.
Your
Okay.
your
If you're
vocabulary
asking
will
me
be
about
elevated
this
listening to
hearing,
this
the
court
proceedings of this
proceeding
hearing, have we discussed the financial piece based upon
interrogatories.
Mr. Roman's motion? Yes.
Celine.
So you have discussed the financial piece. Where did that discussion take place?
Conference room.
Were you other people there, or were you and Ms. Willis discussing this about what your position was going to be?
Relevance of this.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Gillen?
And the relevance has to do.
The relevance. Oh, they're going to break it down to the last compound. Hey, family, what do I always tell y'all? You're not going to get along if you're the same skin tone. They got along because she's light-skinned woman, dark-skinned man. Lighter hue woman, dark hue man. If you're a lighter hue man, you get the darker hue woman. What is wrong with man? Man, I be trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all won't listen, man. Sooner or later, y'all gonna listen to Uncle Ism. Wolfman, tell them where they at.
Welcome to the Sir Ism Show.
Come on, man. Let's go.
With suddenly we have a declaration from Mr. Wade in this case, where he says roughly equal, and then shows one alleged payment by Ms. Willis. No mention of cash.
Ooh, these
None.
people all in your
So I
business.
need to find out a little bit more about how suddenly we have this revelation about cash from the witness stand today.
He has a revelation. He don't understand.
So we part company there when you say no
You
mention
went,
of cash. If I
Mexican.
provided
You don't
one receipt
understand
that didn't
English.
amount to what you would think was roughly equal, the rest of it is cash.
Well, did you in your declaration, sir, it was filed
Declaration, sir.
in this case, did you tell the court in that declaration
Zeroing in on.
the expenditure that you had provided
That's a
on behalf of Ms. Willis was paid for back by her in cash, yes or no?
I believe that I did when I said that the expenses were split roughly evenly.
If you could point to me any place in your affidavit
that's possible.
where you use the word cash I would appreciate it.
I didn't,
Just
I
heard.
didn't use the word
Heard a
cash.
little
No,
more
sir.
curlier.
No, you didn't use the word
Y'all
cash.
on the
did
wrong lady.
But I didn't say that she didn't give it to me in cash.
Look,
No,
Look at
you
these.
just didn't tell anybody that you allegedly.
Who are these producers? Producers of these shows. All black people don't look alike. Okay, look at them. They got this picture on this lady, like it's Fanny. Look at the hair texture. That's not her. See, Celine, why your peoples be thinking we all look alike? You understand me? I can tell the difference. Look at this lady hair texture and look at Fanny. See, they got the camera on her. Oh, go to her. Camera 8. It ain't even her. Bozos. I need to produce this.
Affidavit where you use the word cash, I would appreciate it. Take your time.
I didn't use the word cash. No, sir.
No, you didn't use the word cash, did you?
But I didn't say that she didn't give it to me in cash.
No, you just didn't tell anybody that you allegedly got paid back in cash, right?
His wife look better?
No, I told everyone who asked.
Today.
Yes, sir.
Now, who else was with you, if anyone else, when
course
you
I
and
was.
Ms. Willis were discussing how you would be
We're
handling
doing this
the
proceeding
financial
right now.
component of the motion here today, that is the personal benefits?
I'm going to object to the relevance of that, Your Honor.
Mr. Gillum.
Well, the relevance is if they know that they're going to be called as witnesses, they've been subpoenaed, and they are discussing what they're going to say, we need to know that. The court needs to know that. It goes to the veracity of Mr. Willis and, Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade.
We didn't discuss how we were going to handle testimony.
My question was, when you were discussing with Ms. Willis in the conference room, when you were discussing what you perceived to be the situation concerning the benefits or the payments,
Yes, sir.
was there anyone else present?
No, sir.
How long did the meeting take?
Probably 5 or 10 minutes.
Did Ms. Willis tell you what she was going to say?
No, sir.
Did you ask her whether she had any bank withdrawals that would corroborate the assertion that she would
The
pay
assertion.
you back in large
Are y'all
sums of
writing these
cash
words down?
for these trips to the Caribbean, Belize, California, on and on and on?
Your Honor, again, I object. The proffer, when the last relevance objection was made, was that Mr. Dillon needed to know who else was there. These could be potential witnesses that he could cross-examine. That question hasn't answered. So I can object.
Okay. I think it's still exploring possible bias or motive to shape his testimony. So overrule on that ground.
The assertion. Come on, man. Y'all better pick these words up. So, who was that? Miss Celine? Who said? No, LSP. LSP said that the wife looked better. Y'all judge. We're going to stop it for a second. Let's see. Who y'all think? Hey, LSP, I don't know. You might be right. You might be right. I might need to make a poll. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the comment section, who you got? You got Fanny? Or you got the wife? You know what I'm saying? The wife is looking cute. But some of them, just because the woman is cute, sometimes they don't have good box. Sometimes a woman that's not as quote unquote beautiful, for as the face, might have better box. But in this case, I think you might be right. Because I seen that Fanny Willis today. We're gonna play a little her in a minute. She had a cold attitude. She definitely got some Keisha in her. You know what I'm saying? She definitely got some Keisha and some attitude and some sass and some black girl magic and all of that stuff. The wife you know what I'm saying? You might be right. The wife is looking a little better on the outside, LSP. See, a lot of guys just go for women for looks. The look is just the hook. The beauty is in the duty, baby.
Thank you.
Woman can do for you.
Now, Mr. Willis, Mr. Wade, when you were having this discussion, did you ask her?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he do that on purpose? He said, Mr. Willis. Excuse me, I mean Mr. Wade.
So overrule on that ground.
Let's see.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Willis, Mr. Wade.
Oh. Did he do that on purpose?
When you were having this discussion, did you ask her? Did you ask Ms. Willis? Do you have anything to support these cash withdrawals?
No, sir.
Did you ask her where she got the cash?
This is the conversation. I produced my credit card statement.
Is that all you produced?
That showed what Ms. Merchant in her filing was representing. That was the conversation.
Okay. So when she would pay you back in cash, were you aware of what her financial situation was? Do you know what?
No, sir.
I'm gonna tap y'all in.
Well, Your Honor, it's relevant because we've been bombarded with a book, Find Me the Votes, in which
What's at issue is the financial benefit, and if that plays material interest in an actual conflict of interest. So I think that's relevant.
now, have you read the book, Find Me the Votes?
I have.
You have.
I have.
Okay. Now, in that book, Ms. Willis is telling the authors about how financially destitute she was, or kind of hitting down
Another word
on
for you.
the bottom as she was running for DA.
Yes.
You remember that part of the book?
See, I'm gonna give y'all homework.
So let me qualify the response. I've read the book
I'm about to give y'all some homework.
in parts. I hadn't had the time to sit and read the book in its entirety.
Did you read that part about how she's
Every
telling
time they say a big word, I need somebody in the chat to give us the definition. Because Toya the tutor not here, so we need the word and the definition of the word. Okay. Then let's go. Destitute. That's your homework.
the authors about
Y'all pull up in here.
little money she had and how financially she was in bad shape prior to when she was running? Did you read that part?
No, sir.
Did you ever have discussions with Ms. Willis about her financial situation, which was in apparently in rough shape prior to her being elected DA?
No, sir.
Oh,
Ms.
you
Willis
said
made
the
it clear
DA
that her
ain't got no money?
financial business was just that. It was her business. I know nothing.
It also
Oh, did I mess it up and go back? Okay. I know what to do. What was we at? We was at about 12, y'all. So check it out. You mean to tell me a DA is in financial ruins? A DA is having problems? See, a lot of people, just because, all this high value stuff and 100,000 a year, a lot of people make 100, 200,000 a year, but they spend 300,000 a year. They go shopping, they going to Macy's, they going on trips, they live in lavish, they making money, good money, but they're in debt. Some people make 50,000 and they happy and they not in debt. So just because you make a lot of money, don't act like that's the end all be all. But you do need money, but a lot of people spend a lot of money too. Let's go.
This is the conversation. I produced my credit card statement that showed what Ms. Merchant in her filing was representing. That was the conversation.
okay. So when she would pay you back in cash, were you aware of what her financial situation was? Do you know what?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I object to the relevance.
Well, Your Honor, it's relevant because we've been bombarded with a book, Find Me the Votes, in which
What's at issue is the
Just
financial
another
benefit,
word.
and if that plays material interest in an actual conflict of interest. So I think that's relevant.
now, have you read the book, Find Me the Votes?
I have.
You have.
I have.
Okay. Now, in that book, Ms. Willis is telling the authors about how financially destitute she was, or kind of hitting down on the bottom as she was running for DA. Do you remember that part of the book?
So let me qualify the response. I've read the book in parts. I hadn't had the time to sit and read the book in its entirety.
Did you read that part about how she's telling the authors about how little money she had and how financially she was in bad shape prior to when she was running? Did you read that part?
No, sir.
Did you ever have discussions with Ms. Willis about her financial situation, which was in apparently in rough shape prior to her being elected DA?
No, sir. Ms. Willis made it clear that her financial business.
So you said she was broke until she got the DA job.
I know nothing about her financial status. I know nothing about how she was
She just
faring
paid you in cash.
before or after the election, or even now. I know nothing about her finances.
Telling us that
I was
she
just hitting
didn't
that thing.
share that with you.
I don't know
chose to
nothing
share it
about it.
with the authors of the book.
My job
that's
was
been,
to lay the
published and printed and sold nationally.
I think it's a fair question for us.
I don't know that she shared it with the author. I don't know that the author was telling the truth. I don't know the author, so I don't know, sir.
Okay. Now, did you give an interview to the authors of that book?
I've given no interview, sir.
So you haven't talked to them at all,
I
correct?
haven't talked to any media.
All right.
None.
Now, as it relates to
Okay, so at least this brother understand game. See, a lot of you brothers, y'all go to court, y'all go to jail, y'all just get in an interrogation booth and get to run in your mouth and make a case. See, hush. Don't try to settle your case in the street. Just go to jail. Don't try to settle your case in the interrogation room. Just go to jail. Settle your case in court. You're going to tell on yourself. Let's go.
I'd like to, though.
As it relates to,
They keep saying little stupid
again,
stuff.
from your bank records that you're aware of, there'll be no cash deposits, right?
I didn't say that.
Uh-oh.
Are there cash deposits which
Wait a
line
minute.
up with the money that you have allegedly received from Ms. Willis to quote pay you back for her part of the trip?
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing. In my bank records, you will see cash deposits. You will see check deposits.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that you look through the bank records and you won't see cash deposits because I have two sources of income, sir. Income comes from my private practice, my firm, and income comes from the contract here with Fulton County. During the course of private practice, occasionally I will have
Don't make yourself look bad. Let's go.
deposit cash into my account.
And in preparation for this hearing and your testimony, did you go through your bank records to find out if you could locate
You might need to
any
audit
cash
you, brother.
deposits that would corroborate your testimony?
No, sir, I didn't go through my bank records at all.
Now, so what you would do, the money that you received, of course, the money that you received from your work for Fulton County, that's public funds, correct?
No, sir, that's private funds. It's my
Public funds pay you to do work for Fulton County, correct?
Tell me what the definition of a public fund is.
A public fund would be your funds, as in not fund, but funds, money. Public money.
Public
is
money,
money
man. What are you talking? You acting like you don't know. You know what's going on.
Georgia
The
pay you to
county,
do the work that you're doing here
Fulton
in this
County,
case, yes or no?
the state of
What was the
Georgia,
other
y'all was
one?
using the money to go on
Yeah,
lap
which one?
trips. Act like you don't understand game.
Now, you would take those public funds, and those public
Everybody
funds were then used, deposited in your account, and they were then used to pay on the credit cards for the trips that you would take with Ms. Willis, correct?
I object to the question so far as the characterization of public funds. The witness didn't testify to that.
Characterization,
Not based on any
in
evidence
other words,
that
yeah.
it's taken as the weight. It's private.
Characterization. And man, if they don't stop capping, man, this is a whole song and dance right here. Everybody in here dressed to the nine, using a bunch of big words instead of just saying, hey, man, you was banging the DA and you shouldn't have been. You're married. She's going after the Trumpinator. And we're going to get her. And all these good old boys that want to see her go down, you done messed up, Fanny. Believe me, Trump had all kind of Secret Service. He had all kind of people on your back. You should have known when you went after Trump, when you went after 45. Yeah, I think he was 45. When you went after 45 say, okay, you go low, I go lower. He probably had the Secret Service and all kind of people following her, and they was there on the trip with them, watching everything, taking pictures. He was just waiting for you to slip. He already knew you was messing with Big Nut in the YSL before he got, deleted over there with YFN Lucci. See, this is a bunch of rigmarole, y'all. This is a bunch of hood ghetto stuff with some black people with a little bit of power, and they always abuse their power. Every time we get black people in power, we start abusing the power. And then these other people want to make us look crazy, look foul, look like we're, civilized animals, but still we don't understand how to be civilized at all times, because they're going to go through your bank records, they're going to audit you, they're going to dig dirt. You want to dig up some dirt on 45? He said, we're going to dig up some dirt on you. He already said at a press conference at a rally that you was messing with Big Nut. And Big Nut got off, so now he going to catch you when you messing with Brother Wade here. These people are so cold, they'll send her a chocolate, brother, because they know her flavor. Let's continue.
Well, the point of it is that you got
All
money.
right, Mr. Gillen's rephrasing.
Yeah,
I see you perfect.
Let's break it down.
Let's
You
break it
got
down.
money from Fulton County for the work that you do here, right?
Yes, sir.
You would send in invoices. They would pay you money, correct?
Yes, sir.
Those money, that were private money, that money was money from either the citizens of Fulton County or from the state of Georgia, correct? That's what I mean.
Can't spend public money.
Agreed?
But I guess I'm having trouble with the notion that the citizens of Fulton County have paid me any funds. I'm not certain.
The DA paid you. The woman that they appointed they allocate the funds to the DA, okay? The city, okay? The county, the county of Fulton County, okay? The citizens of Georgia allocate the money to the DA, and she gave you the bread to bang her out. Cold in the game. Do I got perfect timing up in here? What's up with you, Perfect? Unmute yourself, Perfect.
What's up, Mike? What's up with you?
Hey, man, on a late night, man. How you feel about this? I know you got something to say, man. Let's get a little discussion going here, and let me know how you feel, and then I'm gonna continue this, recording. How you feel about this situation? Perfect timing. You had a floor, sir.
I think you're right on time with it, man. It's becoming obvious that they were up to no good. I was just discussing this with my wife when we was just out having dinner, because he's trying to say, both of them are trying to say as if they did nothing wrong because his wife cheated. But what I said to her, and she agreed, is the only reason he's testifying, the only reason that she has to testify is because they did something wrong. If they didn't do anything wrong, they would not have been made and subpoenaed to appear in front of a judge. They would have been able to obfuscate and just say, you know what, there's no improprieties here, and we refuse to testify.
Oh, you coming in here with the big words. Excuse me, brother. Obfuscate and what was that other one?
Improprieties.
Improprieties. Go ahead, you big head nigga. I like this conversation. Let's go.
Yeah, right. That's so anybody watching anything, like, that's one thing that'll blow holes in anybody's argument, right? The only reason we are able to see him in this format, which is him being forced to testify on the stand. I think a lot of people need to understand this is a lawyer who's prosecuting Donald Trump in a federal RICO case, right? This lawyer and then the district attorney, Fanny Willis, is being made to take the stand. Neither one of them want to do this. This is not what they do. They're typically on the other side. They're typically the lawyer asking a question of someone on the stand, being
Funny.
made.
Flip, ain't it? It's funny now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
let's
being
go.
made to testify. They don't want to testify. They both wrote letters to the judge begging the judge to not make them testify because it could compromise them as lawyers in their case. They've been made to testify because they've done something wrong. That's
because of their improprieties.
Correct. Correct. That's just the ground floor. We gotta lay that ground floor because people gonna come down on either side. So for people, everybody to understand, the only reason they're in court is because he slept with someone while married, and the district attorney slept with a married man. That's the only reason they've been made.
Well, counselor, my client was informed me that the marriage was over since 2015. So they really weren't technically married, sir.
Now, ain't that something? You know what I'm saying? For a grown-ass 50-year-old man who's a lawyer, that is so embarrassing. You know what I said? I said, some of us, and I'm talking about people with the same color, you know what I'm saying? We comport ourselves as if no one else is looking. You know what I mean? When we be acting up in the Walmart, when we be at the restaurant, we act like no one else can see us. And that is very foolish. That's one thing I learned from my elders. That's one thing I would have people take away. If you a person of color, stop acting like no one else can see and hear what you're saying and doing. You know what I'm saying? For you to get up here as a 50-year-old man and say you're going to blame your wife for something that took place 10 years ago. Like, people don't make mistakes. It's so misogynistic. So you could have forgiven her. What if you would have cheated and stayed married? You think she would have the same privilege? And this is the thing. This is the thing with childish people do. They want a privilege that doesn't exist. Because if this privilege that he wanted existed about the cheating in 2015, then the judge would have let him not testify. The judge would have said, oh yeah, I agree. She cheated on you. The marriage don't count no more. But it ain't no take backs in marriage. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no schoolyard playground. Right, you still legally married to this woman. And that's the only reason I could make you testify. I know you want to get up here and say she cheated on me in 2015, but to me, it's absolutely embarrassing that he would put forth that argument. That would be, and then he even said, I didn't cheat. I didn't, because the marriage was dissolved, but you're still married to the woman.
Brother, improprieties, brother.
Yeah, man.
I will say that this brother, see, now that you done let me know he a 50-year-old brother, see, I knew he ain't got no grays in there. I knew something was funny. Never trust a Negro that dyes beard.
You ain't never lie.
Funding source. I can tell you that either the state of Georgia or Fulton County has written me a check.
So
he's a lie. His beard a lie. Everything about you is a lie.
Entities, correct?
Yes.
That would be public funds, right? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
And those public funds are from the same source that you would then use to pay out on your expenses for the trips that you took Miss Willis on, correct?
No, sir. As I testified to moments ago, I have income coming in from my law firm. I also have income coming in from the funds that we're here discussing now from either the state of Georgia or Fulton County and or both. I'm not certain what it is. So
What
to
percent?
say,
Sorry,
that-
I didn't mean to
that
cut you off. Go ahead.
so to say that I'm paying a credit card statement with funds coming from Fulton County or the state of Georgia would not be an accurate statement, because the funds could very well come from.
The funds came from Fanny to go on the trips, okay? And she got the money from Fulton County. I should be exonerated.
My private practice.
What percentage of your income in 2022
We didn't know how much.
came from money where you're working on this case or from your partners working for the Fulton County office?
In 2022, I would say 50-50.
You think 50-50 in 2022?
Yes, sir.
What about 2023?
Probably 60-40.
60-40.
Yes, sir.
So the money that would be in those accounts, at least 60% of those, in your view, would be public funds, that those monies were then used to pay.
Okay, so before we go to Miss Fanny here, how you feel about Nathan? I thought he handled himself pretty well. What do you think?
So there's a brother in the chat. He said public versus private. And this is the thing that should also be embarrassing. But I understand if some people don't understand this, but not embarrassing to my brother in the chat, but embarrassing for the brother on in taking a stand. Everybody is not privy to privacy. And that's something that you learn, like if you become a celebrity, right? Everybody is not privy to a private life. And it's something that you give up for certain jobs. And you have to look at like someone who's a pilot, someone who's a surgeon, someone who's a politician. These individuals are not privy to a private life. When you're a politician, the first thing that comes up is your private life, who you're married to, and what you've done in your private life. If you have not been a good person, because they need to know that you have good ethics and good character. Same thing with a pilot or a surgeon. You don't want to go into heart surgery with someone who has poor ethics. So you have to go through a special background. And I know some of the people in the chat going to relate to this. Certain jobs, they get to go into your private life. Have you know what I'm saying? At certain level, when you start making them 7 figures, 8 figures, above 100,000, and I know you go through something called a DOJ background check. Coming from the hood, man, we be scared of a background check. So when I start elevating and they start telling me about these special background checks and the fact that we're going to go into your social media. So when I started my podcast, I had to recognize that some corporate jobs I may not qualify for any longer, because they tell you in the interview process. So our daughters, this is what our daughters and our sons are going through, the ones who've gone to college, making that good money. When they go into that interview, they tell them, hey, I want to know about your Facebook. We need to start telling our kids this. Like, if you're going to go make 100,000, be a vice president, they going to want to see your Facebook and your Instagram. So you better know that some of this stuff is going to come back to haunt you. Everybody is not privy, and I mean privilege. You don't have the privilege to a private life at a certain level. When you're the district attorney, you don't have a private life. That's why the peanut came up.
Brother, I know I cut you off. You know you'll keep going. You'll do a whole show.
My bad.
You good, because I like you. You very passionate when you speak. But so I got to chop you up so I can get some questions in for you. But I got to bring in some humor. When the people, black people, when we talk to each other, how you doing, brother? What's going on? All right, how you doing? Okay. If you ask me what I do, we think you the police.
Right.
What you mean what I do? Nigga, you the police? Don't ask me what you do for a living. The clear people, when they meet you, they could be at a gas station. You could be pumping gas. How you doing? Hey, my name's Bill. I'm a lawyer. Hey, my wife, she's a surgeon. Hey, my dog, it's a border collie. They just tell they information. Black people, hey man, what's happening? What you do for a living? Nigga, you the police? It's a different type of like you say, privilege environment. They think different than how hood people or most common black people think. It's two different worlds, man. How you feel about that?
I agree. And I think we get culture shock sometime coming into that other world where people expect to have that openness in order to feel comfortable. You know, Ali Sadiq got a joke about moving into a white neighborhood and all the white people knock on the door. he wasn't prepared, but it's part of elevating, you know. They and not only that, they want you to forego your privacy. If you enter into that world, you got to give it up.
They just had a rapper, a drunk Karen, came to his door and asked him, was he a D-boy? And he's a rapper.
G Perico.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, what are you doing over here? Like, they just can't believe a black guy can have anything. So you have to have some kind of cap. I used to tell guys all the time, man, you just out here in the streets. I see you kind of in shape. What if you get pulled over? What you gonna say you do for a living? I don't know. I say, man, say you are a personal trainer. Okay, say you are a truck driver. Say you're a construction. Say you're a barber. Say something. Have something to throw them off. If you just say you do nothing, they don't want to search your car. We gotta have an angle for the game because this is how they live. They give up their information. You know what I mean? When you don't give up your information, you look guilty. So now we got Fanny up here. Let's go over Fanny a little bit and see what's happening as Fanny got her Fanny cooked.
That you can actually answer without having to explain. Okay?
Yes, sir. My comprehension skills are pretty good, so we should do all right.
Aren't you getting sassy?
If I heard you correctly, you moved into what I will refer to as the Yurti condo in either March or April of 2021. Is that correct?
Sometime between late February and April. Yes, I don't. Just so we're clear, yes. But in that time period, you're in the ballpark. We're in the ballpark.
And is that Yurti condo? Would you say that it is in Hapeville?
It is in Hapeville, yes, sir.
And you moved in there for safety
That's
reasons.
a cold spot, Hapeville. What's up with that?
Yes, I moved in there. We were concerned. My father was terribly concerned about me continuing to live at the house. And so they were clear. People came to my house at 5 o'clock in the morning about the police brutality cases, saying I was going to have a wake-up call. There were security threats due to gang cases, and there were concerns due to that was at the very beginning of this, looking into that. And so for all of those reasons and what was happening, my father wanted me out the house, and begrudgingly I left.
Okay, so the answer to the question was yes for safety reasons, correct?
Those were all of the things that caused the safety.
He don't care nothing about all of your personal stuff, safety concerns. I asked the question.
Yurti condo for safety reasons, right?
Did you move there for safety reasons or not?
At the time that you moved into the condo, be it from February to April of 2021,
yes,
was your father still living in your house?
She up on
because my father,
That's
yes,
all I asked.
but I get to explain the answers.
I don't know if there's an explanation. If I ask you, was your father still living at your house? The answer is either he was or he wasn't.
Yes, but you are going to get to argue at the end of this, as we both
I'm
know.
not going to argue anything. I'm going to ask.
Damn, man, you telling him how to do his job.
Because my father is an older gentleman, he was worried about COVID, and he stayed.
Brother Perfect, the Keisha and this woman is coming out by the second. She's kind of
yeah, man. Come on, man.
Do at the end, and you're gonna get to do your argument. She's speaking on stuff. She's real snotty, man.
It's embarrassing. Now, let's say she wins this argument, right? This is gonna be a future something she has to deal with in future interviews. Or I would presume that she would want to run for office if she was able to beat Trump. She might want to run for Senate like Kamala Harris. This does not.
If she beat Trump, she can go for the big wig. And if she lose, she gonna go for the sympathy, the black church, woe me, poor black woman, single mom, all of that stuff. Come on, bro.
And this doesn't help it. This does not help her ascension. This is a bump in the road for her. The way she displayed her character, she says at one point, she says, I like Grey Goose. She refers to $1,000 as a G. Now we're talking about vocabulary and vernacular, and the other prosecutor using that vocabulary. She gets up here and talk about if I owe you a G, if it's $1,000, and the way she's comporting herself. Yes, sir, I agree with you. This will not bode well for her in her future. Not as a district person.
And bode well. And this is a brother with gray hair and dreads. You need to get up on some game.
So I'm going to have to say this second time. Whenever we have to put
She's sassy.
That's fine, okay? You'll have a chance to explain yourself. The question was whether your father was not staying there at the time, and you're clarifying that in your answer as well. You can have a brief clarification, but it shouldn't be something that reaches
Yeah, we don't need to hear about all
Mr.
your
Sadon, you can
problems.
re-ask the question. We'll
Yes
see
or
where it
no?
takes us.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Was your father still living in your house at the time you moved to what I would refer to as a Yurti condo?
Yes, sir, he was, due to his concerns related to COVID.
Okay. The safety concern was that there was potential danger at your house. Is that correct?
Yes, my address had been exposed, so yes, there was concerns about potential danger at my house.
Okay, so anyone staying at your house in the time period after you went to the Yurti condo was still in danger, correct?
Yeah, well, no, he did.
I think you have to. It's your attorney, Ms. Willis. Sorry, Mr. Body, your objection is speculation.
Yes.
To the question of
Speculation.
You look a
someone
little
still in
stressed.
danger at her condo,
I can,
Just let her answer the question.
or Mr. Sadon wants to rephrase.
No, yeah,
I-
yeah,
I'm
I was
just
able to
aged
I've got
understand it.
I've got the objection, and then I have,
I'll withdraw the objection.
Okay.
So, and I remember the question, so I can answer it.
well, you can now that the objection's been withdrawn. Can you try to answer that question?
Yes,
There's still a safety concern
I was-
for people staying at the house.
yes, I was very concerned about my father still living at the house. However, if you have dealt with an older gentleman, he was not leaving the house, despite my urging him that I thought he should leave as well. He did not want to leave the house because he was particularly worried at his age about COVID. But that became I don't want to say, I was not happy with that decision of my father's, but I can't ultimately make him leave. And he stayed there too long, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. During that period that you left to go to the Yerti condo, did any of your children stay at your house?
So I don't think that they were there at that point. Certainly my baby wasn't
Don't
there.
think.
I'm talking about this entire period. We're talking about, if I remember correctly, and you'll correct me, I'm sure, you said that you stayed there at what I would call the Yerti condo until January of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm asking you in that period, which would be February to April of 2021 until January of 22, did any of your children stay at your house?
And you don't have to yell at me. I'm able to understand.
What?
So I would ask you to not yell at me. That being said, I don't actually expressly remember, but I can.
Come on, man. Come on, man. These women be knowing where their children at all times. They always hollering, "Woe me, single mom." How you don't know if your children stayed with you or not? Come on, perfect.
That's
I ain't
character.
believing this.
That goes to her character. Yep.
Tell you, since I have left my home, there have been times my oldest daughter came in, but I can't tell you with certainty the time window that you said, if they did or not. And so I don't want to speculate to that, but there was some time that my oldest daughter came back. Whether it was that period or after I left the Yurti residence, I'm not sure, okay?
This is cap.
Okay, so if I continue to go into more detail on this, you're not going to be able to give me an answer of whether or not, in fact, any of your children were still at the house or stayed at your house during that time period, correct?
What I can give you clarity of, so that we are clear, is from the time I moved out in February-ish of 2021, after I left there was a time period that my oldest daughter came back. But if you're asking me, was it in that window or after, I just don't have a recollection of that because, you know, your kids come and they go. And so I don't remember the specific time period. And I apologize.
It wasn't that long
Your
ago.
children
Is it?
stay with-
No. I know when my kids come and go. I know which one of my kids. Let me see. I'm gonna just give you this week. My middle son, I haven't talked to him in a second. He ain't came by. My daughter, I talked to today. Me and my son had an hour discussion yesterday, and I seen him last Friday. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, and they all had their own spots, but I still can remember when I talked to my children, you know, I still know, hey, I talked to my son maybe once, maybe 3 times a week. I talked to my other son maybe once a week. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Show your daughter, and for show your daughter.
I talk to my daughter probably the most.
If you damn sure know
Every
when
couple days, me and my daughter talk.
Come on. And if she was living with you, you would know when she left because you
And
would
they're
want her
grown now. This is when they were children. We talked maybe 3 times a week because I picked them up from school, maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we did our little after school and do our homework, and then we would go eat whatever they want to eat. And that was our routine.
No, if your adult daughter had come back home, if she were to leave, you would damn sure would remember because that would mean that she was back on the street.
If they lived in my house, of course.
You would. So she's saying that her daughter came back and you didn't know when she left, as if she didn't have somewhere to go. My daughter not coming back home and then leaving my house unless she's going securely somewhere. And you would know because I'm probably going to pay for her first and last month rent. So I'm a damn sure know when she left my house as a grown person and she came home grown, because I'm gonna be happy that she left my house.
I probably talk to my daughter the most. My son, sometimes we might miss each other, be like, hey, Pop, I came through, but I missed you or something. But me and my daughter, we definitely connect the most. And it's my daughter. I'm trying to make sure I keep an eye on her, even at 25 years old. You get what I'm saying?
Amen. So you're telling us a grown daughter, she don't know what, as a she just told that other lady that keep money in her house, she's giving people advice about being a single black woman. So you gonna tell us you don't know where your single black daughter is at?
And then she gonna use that for sympathy later.
No.
Mom and all of this stuff. Man, this is cap. Let's go.
You at the ERT condo.
Like maybe a night. Like for a girl's night or something, but live with, no.
Did anyone
Not a
else
girl, it was
stay
a
with you
Wade
at
night.
the ERT condo, including Miss ERT?
Never. Miss Yodi never lived in the condo. She met her husband and they moved. They weren't quite married, but they moved. Nobody ever lived with me in the condo. That was
my word was stayed, not lived. Stayed with you at the condo.
I guess I don't understand the distinction, but no one ever. I think my baby's my oldest child. I think she spent one night with me, maybe my oldest and my youngest. But I think that whole time I was in that place, other than that one night, I don't think anyone ever. It was a very lonely period in my time. Like I don't think anyone ever spent the night other than maybe one night. I remember a picture of my baby sitting on the couch.
She told on herself.
And I'm thinking she spent that night. But
a picture
it was
of
a very
that.
lonely time in life.
What's up with your memory?
We'll stay with the lonely theme just for a minute. Did Nathan Wade visit you at the ERT condo from the time you moved in until he was hired?
Did he come through and hit that
November
thing
the
at the
1st
condo?
of 2021.
I moved out of that condo, but joined
That's
the
all they
condo.
want to know.
Yeah, I'm sure he came to visit. He came to
He
visit.
didn't
I can
come
remember us
visit.
going. I think the restaurant's Lickety Split. I can remember.
Yeah, he visited something else.
Up, going to Lickety Split and eating, ordering some food, and coming and sitting at my table and eating. So I remember times that he visited me at that condo. Yeah.
Because you give us an approximation
We need
of how many times Mr. Wade visited you at the condo.
Why she acting like she don't know nothing? We need an approximation. Y'all big words over here.
We know what goes down at the condo. She's a divorcee. She just says she's lonely. She just got this condo from her friend. Come on now.
They taking trips together. They was in the honeymoon stage, man. He blowing that out every 5 minutes. When he come by the office, they getting in quickies.
Yes. And the condo is like a love shack. It's small. Come on, man.
It's the love shack.
Yeah.
They got away from the kids and Pop, so they can get loud, talk dirty, and all kind of stuff at the house.
Around butt naked. Good living. Good living.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. Fanny, the wife look a little better. I don't know if Fanny looked that good naked. Fanny look like one of them chicks you got to put a bustier on.
Camisole.
Keep that camisole on.
Prior to November 1 of 2020.
Put a shawl on. Put a slip on, baby.
A slip, not a slip.
Put a slip.
Say more than 5, more than 10.
I'm gonna tell you the problem I'm having here. Let's say more than 10, but I'm not sure that that's even accurate. He certainly has come and picked me up. He wanted to grab some food to eat. I don't remember him being in that condo a lot.
He picked you up?
Okay, that's your
I'm
sure
sorry.
did.
You want a number, and what I don't want to do.
Giving me your current and best recollection is all I'm
picked
asking.
you up?
That's all I can give you, sir.
How many times did any of the prosecution team, how many times did Anna Cross come to that condo between the time you moved in and November 1st of 2021?
I don't think Anna's ever been to that condo.
What about any other prosecutor that's involved in the prosecution of this case?
I don't think any of them have.
Just Mr. Wade.
That's correct, sir.
But it was a lonely time.
Oh my God. That 2021. I have a lot of guilt about this time period in my life. Let me tell you why. But yes, it was a lonely time.
Okay.
I was very appreciative to the citizens for giving me this responsibility and this duty. But what I very, very quickly learned is that this is a very isolating job. And 2021 was a lonely time. I turned 50 in 2021. It's probably one of the worst birthdays I've ever had.
Yep, because you found out you was an old broad and all that stuff didn't work. All that you don't need a man. Because she even say later on that her and Brother Nathan used to get into it because he's a very strong man, and that's what she liked it. She liked that he stood on his square and he was blowing that thing out, but he was letting her know at the time that, look, you getting older, You need to be listening to a man, but she a DA. She can't listen to no man because she's strong-headed and she turned 50 and she was lonely. Kids grown, going to college, doing their thing, and they probably fine because she probably was a looker back in the days. And now she come to the conclusion, yeah, I got all this power, but I really don't like it. I got to smile for these big wigs. I got to do all this stuff that I thought was the right thing to do. And I got, $200,000 job and all this, and I'm prosecuting people, but it really ain't fun without that what? That man.
Come
that
on.
man.
Come on.
That's why you players need to know what you are. You are the man. The woman is unfulfilled without that man, players. Go
Come on.
ahead, brother. You got the flow.
Did you see Beyonce at the Super Bowl? That's an excellent topic. I like where you're going. Did you see Beyonce at the Super Bowl? Well, it don't mean nothing without that. Well, she's got Jay-Z right there. And if you know what ism is saying, then you know the look that Beyonce had and the look that this woman is yearning to have. That secured look that Beyonce had, even at the come on, even when she didn't win the Grammys.
Woman, but he want me. You understand? Because she's still a little girl to him. When you hit that thing, she turned back into, you turn me back into the little, fawn that I am. You know what I'm saying? Because in public, she act like she's some kind of tough, stallion. You ain't no stallion. You ain't nothing but a little pony. And you put her in her place and she be like, ooh, I love this man so much. See? And this is what all these women that think they tough, they yearning it. That's why these bags is under her eyes. And all these, you got to make this much money and you got to do all of this. That don't mean nothing without that man. He got to make 100,000. He got to do all of this. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. You need that man.
To give you value.
There it is.
To give you value. If you don't have value unless someone finds you valuable. You are not beautiful. And this is the way women are made. Men are made up a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? We got to have that ism in us. Women are looking for you to have that confidence when you
to give them that confidence too. To tell them that, and baby, I seen you is looking good. And you know what I mean? They need that little boost, man. They be needing that.
Without you, she doesn't have a true value or worth. And that is true. Look at Beyonce, look at Rihanna, these women, and look at the women who don't have husbands. And look, come on now. She jeopardized her whole career for this married man. She jeopardized her reputation. She is now testifying in the court of law as a district attorney. Anybody disagreeing with what Ism is saying and what Perfect is saying about how important relationships are and your significant other, this woman put it all on the line, Ism.
Now she tainted because if she would have ended up convicting 45, she would have went down in history and as being one of the coldest in the game, and especially a black woman. But she did all that for the pipe. That pipe be calling late at night, man. I can't help myself, G Money. It be calling me, man. It be calling me, man.
I have a clear recollection of 2021 being wrong.
Did Mr. Wade
calling me
visit you at the condo?
I was lonely.
The time period I'm talking about.
Forgive me, I was lonely.
Of 2021, when Ms. Yerty was at the condo.
So Ms. Yerty and me, we didn't share the condo at the same time.
So the answer would be no.
But we never stayed there together, so it's an impossibility.
It's an impossibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Yerty, because we need to get clarification on this. Ms. Yerty stayed in that place. There may have been a time that me and Mr. Wade went and saw Ms. Yerty, but me and Ms. Yerty never lived there together. Just so we're clear.
Well, maybe that was clear, but I'm going to have to try again.
Okay.
Was Miss Yerty still living in the condo when you moved in?
Not a day.
Okay. So when I'm talking
misrepresentation in this, we never lived together. I never lived with Miss Yerty.
My question, though, I'm trying to understand that after you moved in to the condo, Miss Yerty she was out of the condo, right?
She got a house.
That's all I'm asking. She's not in the condo.
We never stay. Miss Yerty and I never stay a day together in the condo. All of her stuff was out of the condo, and all my stuff, some of my stuff, not all of it obviously, was moved into the condo. So we never stayed there together. No, sir.
All right. So when I asked you about Mr. Wade visiting the condo when you were staying there,
yes,
Ms. Yerty wasn't staying there, correct?
That would be correct, yes.
She wouldn't be at the condo, correct?
No, she would not have been.
It would be you and Mr. Wade alone at the condo, correct?
Yes.
That is.
Still feel she's being a little sassy with the way she's talking, like she don't like being questioned because she know this is a bad situation for her, man. How you feel, Perfect?
I agree. She said, you trying to put me on trial and I'm not on trial. But that's not true. You're being made to come to the stand. You got to testify. So whether she likes it or not, she is on the stand testifying, and everything you say can and will be used against you. This is going in the record for her career, for this trial, for
And
this
Fani
case.
Willis has left.
And I believe she's been holding back. I believe she hasn't told the truth. I believe she knew what she was doing. She slept with a married man. And I believe the chickens have come home to roost.
Uh-oh. So now we got the Karen. A lot of people, maybe I should have titled this Karen versus Keisha. The Karens the Karens is coming after Keisha Fanny. Let's check it out.
The courtroom, at least for today. Court is going to end now. This has been a marathon day. We're going to take you through it a little bit. We all have opinions. Let's start with the judge because this started earlier today. I didn't think it would be, well, I don't know. I'm totally into this story, but I didn't even know it would be like this on the witness stand. It started slow at 10, but it picked up a lot of steam.
I got to tell you, Dana, everybody I've spoken with has been glued to this. This is a combination of a real courtroom, but also with soap opera, with characters and with explosions that you don't usually see in courtrooms. So let me start by saying that Fani Willis is out of control. All right. No judge would tolerate what she did in that courtroom. I don't know why this one did, but any judge that I appeared before trying a case with.
Did she
I agree.
With her hand on her hip like a Keisha? Did she?
I agree.
She looking at them like, what you motherfuckers want? Look at her. Look at this other, this I don't know, this lawyer right here, because I don't know if it's the prosecution or not. She's looking at her like, look at this bitch. And then Judge Jenny is an old school judge. So she's saying that, I think this is a younger judge too. You know, an older judge might be a little more stern because she was getting a lot of sass and a lot of Keisha was coming out of her. What you think?
Yeah, I know the white boys like that because he one of them bald head white boys. You think he old, but he really 30. He lost his hair.
Right. He needs to get that man unit.
Right. So I think you're right. And that's one of them young white boys that lose their hair early. He then got appointed to a judgeship, and he is not wanting to offend someone who is a potential boss, right? This is the deal.
He has friends that's of the African American community, so he wants to let her, have a chance. He don't want to come in with the fire and brimstone, old school, Willie Lynch type of judge. I think he was being real lenient.
And to be honest, if you from his perspective, I think he did a good job because I think he looked at it like this. I'm not gonna get into it with this woman because I know what type of woman she is, and if she's gonna act like that, she's just gonna embarrass herself. Because if she does that bad, no one will actually look at me as to be like you didn't do something right. If she goes full sister girl, and she went full sister girl, so it turns. It looks worse upon her, and I have to agree. Like, what was he supposed to do? I'm not going sister girl.
Non-confrontational. Perfect. Yeah. He's a judge. He went to school. He had the big old forehead. He probably come from a well-to-do family. He didn't get into a lot of fights with perfect timing and Sir Ism over the basketball. You guys can have it, man. I don't want any problems. You guys can have it. Okay? You know what I mean? His father probably was a judge. He was meant to go to school. He's definitely non-confrontational. So he definitely don't want to get into a confrontation with these black women. He probably feel like they can beat him up because he didn't watch Walgreens beating up people and beating people up over Popeye's chicken sandwiches and hair weave, and he didn't see y'all at the nail shop knocking over tables, beating people up because y'all don't want to pay the bill. So he's definitely non-confrontation.
He knew what would happen.
Held me in contempt if I act.
Let me play this right quick, perfect.
That way. She was condescending. She was out of control. She was combative. She was gratuitous. She was lecturing. She yelled at the attorney and said, "Don't you yell at me." And, the attorney wasn't yelling, but she was yelling at the attorney. And she literally thought that this was her show, that she was running the courtroom, and that, all of these issues, everybody had to be lectured. If she was asked a question, did you keep cash, and trying to assess, the real issue here is whether or not there were misconduct allegations that can lead to her being disqualified. Those misconduct allegations include, number one, did she have an affair with a guy before she hired him? And what has come out is that she hired him in November of 2022, and the affair started in early 2023. So I guess a few weeks after they took a look at each other, they decided they were going to have sex together. But the truth is that it's more than that.
Oh, that was
she partaking of trips that literally she was indirectly paying for?
Right.
And when it got to the point where she had to prove that she was in fact reimbursing Mr. Wade for these trips, she couldn't have any proof. She didn't have any. She said she went.
So, brothers, the moral of the story: if you keep yourself in shape, man, you can knock off a DA. And she will give you back half the bread, man. So we trying to give you this ism over here, but y'all ain't listening. Are we speaking too fast, or are y'all listening too slow? Brother Perfect, how you feel about what Judge Jenny is saying here, sir?
Oh, she's correct, man. This is what I said earlier. We be acting like no one else can see us. Now, me and you can say everything that she just said. We said all of that 5 minutes ago, but it's very different coming from Judge Jenny, ain't it? From a woman and someone who's worked in the field. It's exactly what we said. Y'all be in the Walmart, y'all be in the dollar store acting like nobody else see what you're doing. And this is a perfect example. Other people are watching you. They can see you. And this is why things happen the way they happen in America. People are like, oh, why did they do this? I can't understand it. They see you.
And she went after the dark-skinned brother, the one that scares all of the clear people, a strong black man. That brother there looked like an Adonis. He looks like a black god. He looked like he got some vibranium. Look at the brother. He's in shape at 50 years old. To some of them clear people, he looked 30.
6 foot tall.
This judge can't have no hair in the front. He got all the money, but he wish he could be this brother.
Correct.
He's envious of this brother, and you threw it all away. She should have did like our vice president, Miss Kamala. She was supposed to. She messed with Willie Brown to get in position. Okay, Willie Brown used to be the lawyer for all the players back in the Fillmore Slim days.
Mm-hmm.
Rose up and then became mayor, and you know what I mean. Our vice president was his little side piece, but then she did the right thing. She went and got the zaddy. You sisters got to go get the zaddy.
Hey, who's your plus one? That's what I tell people, man. Who your plus one, man? It matters.
If you around them people, she went and got the zaddy, and now she vice president. You went after Adonis. You went after Vibranium. They mad at you because all the women probably want Mr. Vibranium. I mean, at least for a night. Come on.
That's a good point because I've been on Monique's side. But if we go back in time, because, Monique's son came out and was saying how she didn't do it right. What Monique said in them first 2 marriages, a lot of the black women, they go to Hollywood, get the money, and they marry a Ken doll. And then they get played by the same guy. They all look like this guy.
Photo op, bro. A lot of guys get women because they look good for the pictures.
Come on. They all marry this Ken doll. Bald head, Tay Diggs looking guy, and they get played by him. Sherry Shepherd paying child support. He looked similar. Remember Ism, same bald head, same tall brother. Huh?
I keep telling the in shape guys what you are. You don't know what you are. That's what Keke Palmer dude had to find out.
Come on,
you're a man whore.
Come on.
If you are a trainer, that's AKA for male prostitute. That's AKA photo op, bro. You get paid for looking good because you keep yourself in shape. Okay? And she tolerates you. Maybe, she like your look, so she deal with you on the mental side. And a lot of dudes with a lot of muscle, sometimes they don't have the mental, but she deal with him because every time she look at him, she like, oh, shit, I can't stop fucking with this dude, though. The same way dudes look at a chick that's toxic, and they say, oh, but she fine as hell.
Come on.
You can't help it, man. Let's go.
To Belize with cash. I mean, who's to Belize with cash? And then finally, she said that she never received a gift with an aggregate of over $100. What she's got to worry about is not so much her reputation because she's outraged. She's got to worry about the reputation of her office. That DA's office has a stink on it now. Did she hire someone that she brought in because she wanted to have a relationship with him? Did she spend, and by the way, how do you go on 5 trips as a DA in 6 months? I mean, from Belize to the Bahamas to Aruba to Miami at the Napa Valley. I mean, who's running the DA?
Who's running the DA office? She said, who at the office? Y'all on vacation all the time.
I love her. She gonna take our jobs. You need to retire, Jenny. Go ahead and sit your ass down.
Oh, that's Bad Gemini. What's up, Bad Gemini? Come on up in here, man. Bad Gemini, man. You up in here, man. You got your mic and everything together?
Yeah, my mic's right here, man. Yo,
Yeah,
you hear
man.
me?
Your mic is perfect, like my brother Perfect Time in here. Good to see you, Bad Gemini, man. Long time, man.
Oh,
Go
for
ahead,
sure,
man.
for
You
sure,
got the
for
flow,
sure.
brother. Let us know how you feeling. Go ahead, brother.
Man, I ain't got to let you know. I'm just here really to show support because I know, you've been chilling in the background, but with Sir Izzy back in the building, I had to make a late night cameo to holler at you. Now, I know we're looking at this whole Fanny Willis situation, and when these pogo sticks come to jumping, these women come to falling. And so she fell for it. She had a cake baked for her, and she couldn't resist it. And this is all the stuff you see and you think is fake because we think it's Hollywood, but you realize everything was put in position because the bigger money came from behind the scene. That money was like, we need you to derail this whole thing because Trump is the man. We got a bigger vision for him. So somebody got to be the fall guy. You see it in all these major cases. You're like, this is how the case got botched up. This is what happened. How the heck does this happen? This is preposterous. No, it was all well calculated. It was a massive plan. And then she played her role. So, hey, Trump, he will be running. He will be doing this thing because he's definitely the primary candidate. Unfortunately, Fanny, you the scapegoat. But you did get compensated well, and you got some pogo stick on top of that. So, hey, it is what it is. I just hate that it's a brother and a sister, and they got to look that way. But it ain't no more drama than your local pastor and his 3 wives. So, hey, run it.
What you mean 3 wives, man? What you talking about, man? What's
Hey, you can name whatever you want. Hey,
man. What's wrong with you, man?
DA's office. Nobody has time to do this. She was out of control, but in the end, I think she started understanding that it wasn't her show. She had to calm herself.
So we went on for hours, and this is one key part. If control room, can you get intro shot number 4 ready? And I'll ask Jesse about this because there's been a lot of questions. If you tuned in late, there was all of these questions about money and cash and how much she paid, and she says she paid her fair share, etc. But this was a moment today where you thought, oh, there could be trouble. Watch.
I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4. Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. You have no proof of any.
2,500? That's a nice little lick, man. Could you hit on Fanny for 2,500, y'all? What you think? Bad Gemini.
Oh, you're darn right. You're darn right. Hey, if I was a single man, you're darn right. She said it like it was light work too. I just gave him like a little light 2,500. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? He had a good meal at that
It was all cash, right? The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact. The only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash. I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute. But I didn't give him money outside in a contract. His money back.
That was cute.
The white girl highlighted that. Look at that. They even put it in quotations.
His money. The only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash. I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute. But I didn't give him money outside in a contract.
What y'all think about Keisha? Perfect. You ain't had the floor in a minute. Go ahead, brother. Keisha versus Karen, brother.
Hey, I tell you, we can't keep acting like people ain't watching now. I'll tell you, I was trying to explain, they looking at us now. We gonna look at this from one perspective, but this white girl said that she wanted to highlight this in her expose. The fact that this black woman who's the DA got on the stand and said that was cute. This is priceless. You can't make this up. You know what I'm saying? And all the white women are at home looking and tapping their white husband. Honey, look.
Oh, shit. I wonder what Trump and them over there doing. They over there drinking some fine whiskey. You know what I mean? Like y'all would do, Bad Gemini, and they are having a field day with this. They over there having fun. Go ahead, Bad Gemini. What you think they thinking right now, 45 and his cohorts, while they drinking good whiskey? What you think they over there talking about?
Yeah, you know how people be saying it was all part of the plan. Look, hey, this was going to happen before this year even happened. All this stuff was going to pop off. So that's why I'm just chilling. I'm like, I just want to see what the conclusion is because I don't see her doing jail time. Her thing is derailed. And I like that she showed her blackness, even though people may say it may make us look and feel a certain way. When you drop in, that was cute. And she has some of the rebuttals and retort, like she is acting like a straight up black woman. Like, even though she got DA, there's no Kamala Harris energy in her. She's completely the opposite. regardless of that. She's like, y'all want to come check me?
White mark.
I'm finna be black, and she's
Yeah,
completely
Kamala
owning her blackness.
You right, you right. And then probably in 3 or 4 years, someplace like Memphis with high crime, let her come on in there. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
This
she's straight.
This the one thing. This the one thing, Gemini.
Real black place though to be the D. You know what I'm saying? Like a pastor that's had a checkered background, but somewhere like Baltimore. You know, like the boy. I forget his name, the pastor. And then he went to Atlanta. You know what I mean? One of them hood
Yeah,
places.
we know Jamal Bryant.
That brother. Perfect. You want to say something? Go ahead, bro.
This is what I was gonna say to the plan. This was an orchestrated plan, and when you were saying that, I was thinking about Donna Brazile and how Donna Brazile helped Hillary Clinton cheat at the debate, right? And then she went away. She was used and then disappeared. She was the head of the DNC. The plan was though to use this woman to actually prosecute and beat Donald Trump. This part was not part of the Democrats' plan, right? And what she did is she fumbled the ball. Right now, because there was money put behind her, and that money was going to go behind her in her election to make the same Kamala Harris ascension. But she just blew the whole bag. The whole deal that was on the table for her to be the next governor and be the next senator, she messed it up because of this relationship. It speaks a lot to black men's worth and what the worth of a quality relationship. This is what me and Ism was saying earlier. The plan was she was not supposed to sleep with this brother. And she messed up the whole bag. The DNC and the Democrats were behind her to get Biden reelected, and she was going to get paid on the back end with a promotion like Kamala Harris. She screwed the pooch. She done messed up everything that they promised her, and she done messed up the Democrats' best chance at getting Trump, right? So the plan was to get Trump with this black woman and with the black man in Manhattan, but the plan was not for her to sleep with a married man. And that was not known by anybody. That's why they keep bringing up private, because if they would have known, they would have.
Understand, brother. That you know, it be calling them, man.
Yeah.
That vibranium he put on him, man. Bad Gemini, man. He put that vibranium. You look like his brother, Bad Gemini. Matter of fact, what was he thinking when he seen this? Did he say, you know what, I'm gonna take this down? Was he saying, I'm gonna just be friends with her? What you think that brother was thinking when he seen this sister?
Man, he smelled, you know, he did the whole finger smell. He's like, I can't wait to get a whiff of that. Like he was licking them darn chops. He smelled that finger again. He like, ooh, this might be too good to be true. But no, honestly speaking, you dealing with a sister who's in power. Let me tell you, if guys like bagging down regular sisters, don't you think there's an invigorating thrill when you're like, I can get this woman who's in one of the highest positions within the state and their government? So that drove this man, because even if it didn't come to this, he still was going to be celebrated within himself, because he like, I smashed her. Even if it was a secret, it came out. He felt bad, but ultimately he like, hey, I couldn't pass that.
At 56, well, he already 50, but 60, 70, when you know what I'm saying, he having a shot of whiskey, he can always speak on this. You know what I mean? This is historic. This is legendary right here, actually.
You know what?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a bad light, he gonna go down as a legend.
And you know what she looked like in her prime. You could tell. It's still, the remnant's still there. You know, 20 years ago, you're like, okay. So yeah, he couldn't resist that.
Come on. I think that was light work, easy work, because I think he feels more secure about himself than she feels, because I think she's kind of insecure. Even though she a DA and she putting all that pressure on these criminals, I think she insecure on the inside. Like she say, she turned 50, she didn't have a man, she you know, got all this fame, but she's still missing that key ingredient. And it probably was a man that got away that really loved her, but she went after her career instead of the man. And then when she got everything out of the career, she was like, this is about nothing, because I'm still empty inside. Go ahead.
And guys ain't checking for you, Ism. When you get to that level in your career,
I know guys ain't checking for me, brother.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
pause. Heavy pause.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Yeah, we'll give you a pause, but you know, stop it, man. But guys ain't checking for you. So when you're a woman of her stature and her ability, there's that void, like you mentioned. But then it's like, dang, guys are too intimidated. So she probably was the aggressor. And when she was the aggressor, he was like, this is easy money. And that's the problem when we always talk about, oh, I want a woman who's successful, this and that. Well, a lot of guys get intimidated. So then they have to flip it and be the aggressor. But then that leads to poor decision making half the time because they're lonely and they're vulnerable. And because they're gullible, they're making emotional decisions. And all the logic went out the window. And that's what happened with her. All the logic was gone because she's like, guys ain't checking for me. He's successful too. Because in this instance, I give her props. She didn't give a Pookie and Ray Ray attention. She gave another guy attention, but unfortunately, he was married.
Right.
She definitely priced herself out the game, and that's kind of a unique thing for Black women, right? Because when you get to be a certain status for Black women, there's very little Black men. If you want to stay dating Black men, that's going to be an option for you, right? So at her level, yeah, that's an excellent point. She priced herself out the game, much like a lot of Black women that we see in Hollywood, like a Taraji, who is an actually beautiful, gorgeous woman, but she pricing herself out the game. So they got to go back and elevate.
Wait, Perfect. Hold on, Perfect. Break down pricing themselves out the game. I understand what you're saying. We from the Bay. I know Bad Gemini, he's got a lot of player in him, and he don't say he's a player, but he got a lot of player wisdom and ism about him. Break that down for the people in the back.
So she said she made $200,000 a year. So it's just like, only 10% of men is 6 feet tall. How many men are making over $100,000 a year? Then you get into the $200,000 a year bracket. So we talking about the top 1 percentile of men. And then you have to break that down as to how many of them are African American. So that's slim pickings. We talk about the top 1%, then we're going to break down that 1% to get to the Black men. She has to go create that man. What you saw,
be checking for you with all these wrinkles and things.
Come on. And then he got to want you, because once I reach this level, I'm 40, 50 years old. We've seen this time and time again, right? So she has to create her mate. Monique did it. The Taraji had to do it, and they fail every time. The other sister had to do it, and she paying child support to that brother right now. They end up like just what Fanny did. They need to create a mate, because
so
one is not.
Long should have stayed with Ime. That's a whole nother topic. I know I'm going off the rails, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things to cover, because Taraji probably should have stayed with that football player dude she was with.
She should have, because she didn't know how.
Tia Mowry too. Tia Mowry. She left her guy.
I ain't trying to just bag on the sisters, but we just going over it.
No,
and
we
like
talking
they
about the
priced
sisters.
themselves out the game. Go ahead, Jim.
Stop it, sirism. We talking about the sisters. The reason is because when a guy elevates and ascends, he still like, I have my pick of the litter. But a woman, if she ascends and truly wants a legitimate relationship, it's going to be a problem, because a guy elevating like that, he's looking at it, I can be a player, I have an option. But if a woman, I don't know how many women elevate to that level and say, I still want to be a player and play the game as a woman, because they have a emotional conflict. And so that's when you start seeing the separation. And that's when these things happen, like you see with her, because it's like, man, I want that affection, that attention, something that's long lasting. And so you're willing to share or settle, right? And then so a guy's like, man, I'm going to play the game. If a guy's making $200K, he looks decent and has power, he's like, I'm going to run this as long as possible. If the right one come, I may settle down, but I still may stun on her from time to time. Where her,
men get
like,
later, Bad Gemini.
Yeah.
The women take off the young body. They get all the attention from 18, probably younger than that, on up to about 30, 35. They getting all this. So a man that finally develops himself, comes into his own, learn how to dress, and he ain't awkward and goofy. He know how to handle himself in the bedroom now, and now he 40. Now he got some money, so he'll get a chance to finally be a little bit of a player. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what both are saying. You age yourself out, ladies. You got to be listening to what we're saying here, and this is coming from a man's perspective. Fanny was a looker back in the days. Now she done got a little longer than 2. But if it was my woman, Bad Gemini, and she was down with me in my 20s, and now I'm 40-something, and she dealt with me, and I might have had some infidelities and all that other stuff, and she's still down, I'll grow with my old chick, because that's my old chick. But I'm not trying to pick an old chick if I got an option.
He did have an option. It's called his wife. but you know what? She vintage. And unfortunately, people like vintage. The vintage car you drive out every blue moon just to let the engine crank up. You might polish it, wash it. A vintage perch, you wear it, but you put it back on the shelf. And unfortunately, she didn't realize she's vintage. You make good money, do all of that, but you ain't the hot new. You ain't the everyday bag. You ain't the everyday vehicle.
If
And
it's
so,
my old girl, I'll still like it though, Bad Gemini. If she
but you
down,
had to be with her the whole time, Sir Ism, and been rocking with her.
Of course. But just picking that instead of something else, a man probably not going to do that. But if this was my girl, that's why ladies, y'all got to get a man and hold on to your man and deal with the ups and downs. I thought they said
need a
richer
60-year-old, Sir Ism,
and all that other stuff.
Sir Ism. She need a 60-year-old. That's the problem. Like, you trying to get how old is Willis? Wade?
The other guy's 50.
He's 50. Just turned 50.
He still look 40.
Yeah, she need an old guy that's gonna tend to her from here, and she can. Matter of fact, she should be stunting. She should get a 60-year-old, and then she playing around with a 40-year-old. She did it all wrong. She supposed to have her a sugar daddy and then some candy on the side. A sugar daddy and a sugar baby. Supposed to have the 2-for-1.
She did. She did. That was Peanut, right? And then she represented YSL Mondo, right? So that's what Trump. That was the first Trump thing that he uncovered.
Okay. And he just hook up with her from time to time and had that street life and tell her all them hood stories, and it was turning her on. And he pull up with his gat and probably told her to, you know what I mean, get on your knees. You know what I mean? Put your hands behind your back. And she was the DA.
So Ism, you can get her right now. Let me tell you how treacherous these women become with all this drama in her life. She gonna leave that guy right now, but she'll have a guy in her DM who's saying, dang, that's messed up, vulnerable. She gonna have a lonely night, and she still can get bagged down right now. That's what I see when I see this woman, because she's still broken and vulnerable. And so I'm not naive to that. Right now, I guarantee another guy new. She'll have to keep this on wraps, obviously, because she's under public eye scrutiny, but another guy could come brand new and bag her down because she still has a void. After all of this here, if the void ain't filled, she gonna repeat her behavior. And so she got to figure out how to fill that void.
She's compromised. And that's what's gonna get her in trouble. Her compromised behavior would be okay and condoned if it were not she was the district attorney and she's compromised the office. This is why we're having a discussion. She can sleep with a married man and you can question the cheating and all of that, but her compromised position has compromised the office of district attorney. That's why it's so relevant. And you are going after Donald Trump for a RICO case. So you need to have unreproachable character and ethics. And that's the conversation that gets missed as we get into, oh, she's a cheater and all this. That's why I said earlier, everybody is not privy to a private life. If you are going to prosecute the former president and future president, you need to be beyond reproach as far as your character and your code of ethics. And some jobs, it's actually in the job description. It's job description that there's a code of ethics that comes along with this position. And district attorney is one of those jobs. That's the only reason she could be subpoenaed. That's the facts. You compromised yourself by having an affair. And that's what it comes down to. And you compromise the position of district attorney. And you can't get away from that. And then we go deeper into your decisions and your ethics as far as it's financially concerned. When you hire the person you're sleeping with, she started off by saying this man was her mentor. And she tried to condone the relationship. So you end up sleeping with your mentor. That means you forgo the relationship to become a better lawyer for a sexual relationship. That even lets us know again how important this sexual relationship was for this woman, that she would forego a positive relationship with a mentor who could improve her status as a lawyer in her community. And she does that for a physical. That's not professional. Anybody who's ever worked in the professional realm and you are if you are lucky enough to get a good mentor, you don't sleep with them, because it's hard to come by someone who's actually black who's going to mentor you at that level. You don't sleep with them, because how you going to get another mentor?
Is that they call it when you sleep with someone below you?
Subordinate.
Yeah, come on, it's subordination.
Yeah, let's play a little more. Let's play a little more this, y'all.
Fraternization.
Yeah.
Give me some good game up in here, man. Y'all need to hit the cash out, man. If nothing else, man, y'all go subscribe to Perfect Timing, and y'all go subscribe to my brother Bad Gemini, man. Let's get these brothers together around here, man. Perfect Timing, Bad Gemini. Let's play a little more of this Fanny right here.
Back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills.
Oh,
the only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
You've been watching all day? Love it?
I don't even know where to start, Dana. I'm so engaged in this courtroom drama.
Sassy.
So many things I want to say at once. I don't know if we're going to have enough time. We are covering this for the whole hour. Is that correct?
I don't know if I
can we
promise
please cover
that.
this for the whole hour?
Just start.
The hand on her
First of all,
hip.
it must be exhausting to prosecute Trump because this woman's taken 7 vacations. My favorite part was when she was asked if she's ever been to any other continents with Wade. And she said, well, I've been to Belize. What continent is Belize? Belize is North America, Central America. This woman is prosecuting the former president of the United States. She flies to a country and doesn't know what continent it's on. That's just number one.
Let's start
These
there.
are not smart or professional people.
No.
These are petty people.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everyone's looking at, and their dirty laundry is totally exposed. Her friend, Dana, for 30 years, sorority sisters, she moved into this woman's condo. She hired her to work in her office. Her friend testified.
Don't you ever talk
that she
about the
saw her
Stevies.
kissing
What
and
the
cuddling
AKA?
and holding hands. Just right there alone, direct witness testimony should sink her because you're not allowed to hire the person you're having sex with.
Why not?
And not disclose it and then pay him a bunch of money and then he takes you on vacation and you claim you gave him cash.
Come on now.
She says she's keeping.
I want to know what's the problem with this, man. People been doing it for a long time. She just decided to try to do it. But when she went after 45, that was it. What y'all think?
That's true. That's a big element of it because now she has a public eye and spotlight, and this is actual election year. See, this didn't mean as much last year, but in the actual election year, everything is magnified, especially under all the scrutiny that Trump is already facing. Look, she don't went from trying to get a RICO charge to now trying to be with Rico Suave. So it was already a wrap for her. It was donezo on the onezo for her, right? The pogo stick got her all out of her senses. And the funny thing, though, is I'm not hearing the part where she's lost her job yet. She's lost credibility, but it's like sometimes in these instances, people get demoted. Like, so right now, the black community still has an investment because it's embarrassing, but it's not like they're like, dang, you should lose your job. So people are kind of waiting to see. It's like, okay, you can't function at this high level, but what are we going to go to a different district? You're going to be demoted. That's what we waiting to see. And so that's why there's so much insight and people have all their attention and eyes on this because yeah, she screwed up. But like you said, this has been happening in different circumstances. Should she lose her job? Technically, she should based off of morality. But then if you look at how many other people have gotten away with it in different cultures, you'd be like, oh, heck no, you keep your job because all these bozos still in office doing the same treacherous thing. So if we're going by that standard and that's what we're governing by, keep your job. Unfortunately, lay low from the spotlight for a couple of years and let that be that. You know, that's how I see it from the whole aspect. And yeah, Trump, hey, you got what you wanted, but you know, he just better be tight ship going forward because they ain't gonna stop. They're gonna keep this going all the way through election day with this guy here because they can't relent when it comes to him. People got axes to grind with him, and they don't like people like Sir Ism, who's a player. They don't want international players to be out here. They don't want Perfect Timing, who coming with all this intellect and knowledge. They're like, we want you to be just a shiftless and unruly Negro, so they don't want to hear nothing from you. But guess what? She is now being lumped up into that demographic. I don't care what they call us in these YouTube streets, but when she starts getting assessed as being a hoodlum, a degenerate, incompetent, look, she's still DA. She didn't get this on accident. She had a lapse in personal judgment, but skills and ability, she still got that. So hopefully she can bounce back after
That
this.
thing be calling, man. That she can act all tough, but that box. You know, that girl, because I call my girls box. You know, my girls, I give it the boxer name. You play that's upper level game. So you got to get that boxer name. So when you get that boxer name, you be like, Samantha. Yeah, I'm gonna come see Samantha tonight. Make sure she got a nice landing strip for me. You know, you gotta. She be at work going, "Ooh, shit, daddy. You gonna do what? Yeah, I'm gonna come see Samantha tonight, and now you can have an affair with Samantha." So Fanny be acting all tough, DA, judge, guilty, RICO case. But when she go home, she's still a little girl and her little thing, Samantha, be saying, bitch, you lying. You know we need a man. Why you lying, bitch?
Look, I will say one thing about that, since you want to bring up the box. The one thing about the Amazon box, it always got that smile on it. And that's all you're trying to have. Your girl like an Amazon box, because that smile is written on it every time. That little
That's
smirk.
a cold player right there. That's a cold player. That's a cold player.
Crazy, man.
Hey, perfect. What you thinking about this situation, man? And then we're going to play a little more of it. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Man, I don't know, man. I was just listening, man. I just think let's play some more. I'll see what I have to say.
Let me change the screen back, y'all. Okay. You know, we got the new computer out of young bitches booty. But that's old, so I gotta get another one, nigga. Touch screen. Let's go.
Out of batch.
Lots of cash in her house. Would
that
the
Fanny?
top
What y'all
law
doing with that
enforcement
Fanny right
official in Fulton
There you
County
go.
announce to the entire world, hey, everybody in Atlanta, I keep lots of cash in my apartment. It doesn't even add up, Dana. And then when they say, well, where'd you get the cash from? She goes,
Clear, man. It's hood shit.
Hard work.
We keep cash.
Well, do you have any withdrawal slips from the bank? No, she's been accumulating a cash hoard for many years. She thought the guy said hoard.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite parts. I mean, I could go on for hours and hours.
And he said I would never say
about
that.
this case. So much to say.
Can I ask the control room for call for number one? This is the friend revealing the relationship.
You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. It is a lie. It is a lie.
Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
All right.
Wait a minute, bruh. She's on
Unhinged.
trial saying she's not on trial. What the hell was
She's
that?
unhinged. And
I never seen that part.
Yeah, she lost
said,
it.
I am
She
not
lost
on trial. I gotta play it one more time, then I'm gonna give it to y'all. I can't believe that.
She lost it.
No matter how hard you try to put me on trial. It is a lie. It is a lie.
Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
All right, that wasn't the one I wanted.
We gotta take 5 minutes because she acting a donkey in here. She acting a donkey in here.
When the sister put her hands on her hip like that, you know what time it is. She like, look, she like, y'all white folks, I ain't got no time for this BS right here. Like, I don't know what y'all think it is, but y'all got me effed up if y'all think a sister got time for this. She's like, y'all dry and pasty. I'm dressed better than y'all. I get better D than y'all. She's like, why is y'all bothering me right now? Like, look, I'm not here for you. I want to get this orange man from running for office, and y'all slowing me down. You know how somebody be like, man, you slowing me up. Like, can we get this over with? Because y'all slowing me up for my bigger matters. That's what she's dealing with right now. Her energy is like, this is BS. Y'all wasting my time, and y'all slowing me down for my work. I want to go ahead and prosecute Trump. And the unfortunate thing about it is that's okay if she had that energy, but she lit that black woman out of her. And when they see that sister, they're like, oh no, we ain't receiving that. And so now, you know, she thinks she's that HPIC in charge. You're not the head, you know, hoo-ha. I'll just be appropriate for you two in charge, but that's her mindset. She's almost treating them like y'all on my time. Why y'all wasting my time in my state, in my city? Y'all are tripping. And so perfect timing. Like, when you see this, what do you expect their end result to be for her? Like, you think it's a wrap for her? Will she be incarcerated? Will it be a slap on the wrist and they'll tell her to go away? What do you think the end result will be for her?
So thank you for asking, because I wanted to share with you. I've been following this. So 2 things. Ron DeSantis had removed a similar district attorney in Florida, and the black part of Florida, a black woman, and she thought the DNC was going to support her, and no one ever heard the story again. I don't know if you guys can recall it, but it was about a month ago, but she failed to prosecute a guy who ended up injuring a police officer. Ron DeSantis removed her. So what's going on in the background is 2 things. She's also been subpoenaed to the Congress. So Fani Willis is being subpoenaed to Congress. The head of Congress the Republicans want her to come testify about the finances, right? So what else is going on? Because of the pressures coming nationally, the Republicans in Georgia who have been stagnant and feckless, meaning they've been scared to do anything because they are scared of the black Democrats in the state, they have a resolution in the background of this to empower the Republicans to remove her from office. So that's happened about 2 weeks ago as I've been following this story. So they already got something on the floor. And so there's a house in every state. You hear about the major house nationally, right? But Georgia has a house and representatives of Democrats and Republicans. So the Republicans got a resolution on the House floor in Georgia right now that would empower them to actually remove her, and they're going to be voting on that. So that's actually happening as we look at all the sensational stuff about the sex and all that. The Republicans who are on the side of conservatism, and you know, you got to think about this, the South. You know, like Ism was saying, we from the Bay. A lot of this stuff might have slid in the Bay, but in the South, you're not going to have a district attorney with any so-called improprieties. They have to be beyond reproach, and especially if you're gonna have her be some type of DEI, equity,
DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion.
Higher. So the white people gonna be like, come on now, this is the Southern South. We need Southern gentlemen. We need ladies, Gentile. You know, so. It's the location, it's what she did, is where she did it at. So there's a lot of moving parts that's happening behind her that she's not going to be able to stop those wheels, right? Because she's in the South, right? And it's the money behind the pot. So two things. I believe it's like the Carly Russell. Carly Russell may not get the brunt of all of what they want to do, but they're creating a Carly Russell law, which won't bode well for black women in the future. Fanny Willis may not get the brunt of everything, but if they get this resolution passed, the one thing I know will happen is she will not get reelected. We need to understand that she is in an elected, appointed position. She was in the district attorney's office before, and she had a RICO case against Atlanta Public Schools. That was the most expensive case in Georgia history. She was forced to leave office. She represented YSL Mondo. Then she got re-elected to district attorney. So at the very least, Gemini, she not getting re-elected after this. It's going to be hella high water for her to conjure up the support financially to get rid. And then imagine going through a campaign after this. After this could be the worst campaign commercial for anybody she run against. Sister girl runs for district attorney. So I mean, at the very least, your career in politics is over. And at the very worst, the Republicans in the Georgia state pass a resolution and have her removed from office, and then it'd be impossible for her to run for office again. She probably, her best bet is she could pray and hope that she could save her license, because a lawyer, you can go to the bar for ethics. I brought this up earlier.
Yeah.
Get removed from the bar for code of ethics. So she better be praying, because this could go very bad for her. A lot of people don't understand about being a lawyer and the bar association and how that works. So she could pray and hope that she could quietly leave office and maybe never run again, right? But at the very worst, she gets removed by the bar, and they pass that resolution and they get the power to remove her from office. And that just, Georgia stays Republican. That would swing the next governor election. That would swing a lot of the stuff, and Georgia would stay red for the next 10 years. So this is horrible.
Well, I look at it like, based on what you said, I just want to, I know she might not see this, but if she happens to see this, Fanny, when you start your OnlyFans, just understand, because they stripped you of all possibilities of positions within state government, national government, but OnlyFans does not discriminate. So when you get that thing on and popping, just make sure you have you have a gavel and the judge's robe, and you're gonna make all the money you need to make. So good luck to you in your new career. That's all I got for you, Fanny.
Oh man, it's sad but true, man. It's sad but true. Man. Sad but true, because I might sign up for 1 month.
Ain't it gonna be interesting? Shoot,
I might sign up for 1 month, man, just to see what Nathan did it all for, man. I want to see what Bartholomew, him downstairs. Why did he do it, man?
Whole gavel. She don't know what's going on. Just like order order in the court. It's like right now you ain't in no court no right now. You're in the courtyard getting bagged down. So I mean, hopefully it works for her. Look, I just made my cameo. Look, y'all are West Coast. It's darn near 3 a.m. I'm way
Nah,
up
man, you
past
gotta
all my
wait a little
bedtime.
bit longer, man. You can't go
Why you
yet,
say
man.
that,
Give me 5 more minutes, man. Let me play a little more Fanny because I want to talk to you before you leave. Let's go.
Oh,
But
we
you get the
got it.
picture of how it went, Greg.
Yeah, I think The View found a backup host. I mean, the amount of nonsense she can unload matches all of them combined. I'm like the judge. I didn't know you could be this combative and belligerent. I mean, that's okay. I guess, I mean, does the average guy get the same leeway to do that? I mean, why are they so hands off? I'd really like to know. I'm telling you, man, it was exhausting. I felt like I was trapped with a combative customer service rep from a rental car agency who was battling me on everything. Like I said that I wanted a 4-door. No, we're out of Did you say that? No, we only have 2 doors, but I'm pretty sure I said convertible. We don't have any convertibles. Are you saying I'm lying? She was amazing. She was trying to flood the zone with a barrage of frantic words, asides and tangents. It was like listening to a shoplifter tell a cop her life story when he's just asking her, did you put a Snickers bar in your purse? I mean, I guess she's like hoping that people will forget what the case is about as long as you keep building and building this nonsense. Instead of digging a bigger hole, you dig a bunch of little holes over here and hope people just fall in. And it just got, after a while, I couldn't handle it. I mean, it is weird, though, that this person is a DA, and not just a DA, but, presiding over probably one of the biggest trials. It's a president on trial, and that's the person in charge.
Bruh, see, what he don't understand, y'all, is if you put her in Fulton County, this is a hood spot because my son is a teacher. And he said, hey, Pops, I've watched some of these teachers come in from other places, these quote-unquote well-to-do areas, say San Mateo, say Palo Alto, over there with Stanford at. And they'll come to these little black schools. I want to help the black kids. I want to do this. And he say, Pops, I've seen these people in 6 months have nervous breakdowns because they can't handle dealing with certain kind of children. Okay, they really come from a different kind of upbringing and culture that they get with these certain. I don't mean to talk about our children, but you got to handle them a certain way. So this DA works in certain areas in like Oakland or San Francisco, these hood areas. You need this kind of DA, and he's talking from a Calabasas perspective. What y'all think?
Yeah, that's a good point. But do you show it publicly, and do you do it when you on the stand as a lawyer and as a district attorney? So you might need to have that approach with the defendants that you're working with in that community, right? But she should have been present and know the room. You know how when we be teaching the youngsters, and we were saying this earlier, right? So this is some more good game for the youngsters. You were talking about having the ability to code switch, right? Going into different worlds. Part of that ability to code switch is being able to know the room, right? And she should have been able to gauge the room a lot better than that. Knowing her positionality in that room and what her role should have been when she was on the stand, and she'd made that mistake. It's like you come into a white party wearing all black. And you being loud on top of that. So now you're not wearing all white and you being obnoxious. Kick her out. You know what I'm saying? Get up out the party. You already didn't wear what you were supposed to wear. So you didn't read the room. And that's what these white people are just like trying to make jokes, but they're really trying to insult her. Like, I can't believe that this is the district attorney and she don't have she has an inability to read the room. How could she speak? Yeah, you may need to have that vernacular. I'll give you that. You're in Fulton County, but you couldn't read the room. That's why I said these are not professionals. That's what, didn't we just say that? Me and Jim and I was just having the conversation about professionalism and code. And what did the white boy say? These are not professionals. Anybody that deals with professionals on that level will. And that's not a dig on race or nothing. That's just looking at the way she comported herself. Like,
they didn't have no professionalism. That was their problem, man. They didn't have none of it, man. You understand me? Bad Gemini, man. Go ahead and have a flow. I appreciate you hanging out with me because I want you to stay. I got something to tell you when we drop. Don't leave yet after you finish. Go ahead, brother.
This man here, look, hey, you getting the best of the rest of me, but I got you. So check it out. So when it comes to her, I do agree with the whole not reading the room, but this is not a regular room. This is her state. This is her domain. So she's acting like a woman that's like, look, this is my domain. Like, I don't give a dang how many of y'all white people in here. F what y'all got to say. F y'all wasting my time. F y'all talking crazy to me because I want to talk crazy to y'all. So she's operating like she's instilled, like she still has full power. Where it's like, you don't understand. They're literally stripping you of your power as we speak. So all this head honcho, that's dead. But she said she's going down with the ship. She's operating like a true sister. How many of us have been in argument with sisters, dating them, and they had the same energy where they're like, I'm going down with the ship. You're like, this woman is crazy. Like, you tripping, chick. Like, and that's what she's on. She's on the energy of, I will go down with this effing ship. I don't care what white man, what white woman come and talk crazy. That's cute. You disrespectful. Y'all don't know nothing. I'm just as smart as y'all. Y'all reporters. I went and got my education. I got connections. I got clout in the city. You will not embarrass me in my city. And that's her energy. She's coming like, I refuse to let y'all white folks embarrass me in my city. But she has to understand, it ain't about being embarrassed. It's about your A. It's about to go to prison if you push it. So right now, just be out of a job. But if we start poking holes and we dig and go further and further, you know how white folks are. Anybody in
Prison,
power.
yo, prison.
Yes, they
I
will
like
go
to
that
say
far.
out of job, but they'll push for prison.
If she carries on right now, because this is the thing.
Okay,
You
they can
take your
push for prison.
L.
She might get
Yeah.
probation, but that's a stain
Probation.
on a lawyer.
The
Yeah.
money. It's
Yeah,
the money.
lose the job, and that's go away.
Exactly. That's
Let
all they,
Gemini finish. Go ahead, Gemini. Then I'm
no, but
then you
that's
can
what they want. But that's what they want. What they're saying is have humility. How many times have we seen these situations where it's like, look, take this L, fall back, you'll bounce back in 2 to 3 years. But what I'm saying is if she keeps pushing it, now they're like, since you want to prolong this, now let's really start digging. And all they have to do is find a few technicalities like, oh, do you know under Georgia law you couldn't do this? Or you know when you fraternize and do this and do that. And it's like, this is what you got. There's like, we still gonna give you a pass because you served in as a public official. And like y'all said, she'll probably get the probation. But why not? Why get any of that? Just lose your job and leave clean. Don't have them talking probation. Don't have them take you on another trial where they're trying to say, we got to see if you because technically she can do 30, 60, 90 days in jail and still get probation. It ain't like you just automatically probation. They can be like, hey, you got to do 30 now. So she just needs to fall back and disappear. But look at that. You see this picture? You see how she's looking over there? Do you see that?
But she can't stand these people. But do you see
Yeah.
this? Do you see the kind of people that's in my chat room, man? Listen, look at he talking about he know lawyers with hella felonies. What kind of Negro?
Yeah, no, it's true. A lot of lawyers, some of them do coke, they do marijuana. Because once they get to that position, they ain't being checked for that. There are no drug tests for lawyers and all of that. And then if they get pulled
So
over,
you
you
mean
think
to
these
tell me this
officers don't?
ugly crash face Negro right here, Star P, is actually right? I gotta
Yeah.
say, right. Look at that face though. That's a crash face. That face looked like the front of a 240 Volvo.
You know what? He looked like he kin to her too. That might be a hired goon by her. Like he's a hired goon from Fanny Willis. That's like a cousin. She don't even claim. Like
Go ahead and kick him
that's
off
why
the
he
show.
back.
Well, ism. Think about all the police officers we know. 90% of police officers be dirty.
Dirty.
They known for being for domestic abuse. When we would be on the block, we'd be like, "What happened to old boy?" Anytime a police officer would be missing, he'd be because he didn't beat up his wife or he's an alcoholic and got caught getting drunk. Because we get used to the police officers, we'll know their last name, and then whenever we wouldn't see them again, it's because of those two reasons. And this is just this, and if you go do the research, they know this. They got special groups for police officers because they know they mess up in this two ways. They're alcoholics and they're abusive to their wives. So it kind of
that ain't an easy job though. People think a cop's supposed to, and I ain't just like for the cops or against the cops, but that's a hard job to turn it on and turn it off, man. And that ain't an easy job, bro.
No, sir, I wouldn't. I'm not. No, I agree. I totally.
As soon as you don't, be on your toes, then bam, somebody can pop you, man. And so
Take your
you
life.
gotta kind of be on edge a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And we got Bad Gemini, man. He got to get up out of here, man. So we going to let everybody share their channels, man, because I want to tell Bad Gemini something in the back chat. Soon as we finish up out of here, Perfect, man. Go ahead and share your channel, Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Man, it's Perfect Timing Podcast, man. I don't got my phone, so I can't leave my link in the chat, but y'all check me out, man.
You wait a minute. You all wrenched up and everything over here, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how to put my link out there without my phone.
All right, well, don't worry about it. We'll redo it, and we're gonna do some more shows together.
Yeah,
Perfect Timing Podcast. But I know that you wrenched up and everything, so go on and give everybody your spiel and how they can catch you and everywhere. You know what I mean? You campaigning.
Yeah, man. Perfect Timing Podcast with the blast on your ass, man, every night, man. So check this out, man. I'm live on multiple channels on YouTube, but check me out. Perfect Timing Podcast. You put that in the search bar on YouTube, and you're going to find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going live on Twitch lately with the video game because the streamers is trying to take over. So you can see me anywhere on TV, man, because YouTube is the next TV. What I do is a podcast format. You know what I mean? So it's like a radio show. You see the microphone, you see the background. I'm a very charismatic host. So it's a bunch of live music, a bunch of live sounds, a loud, boisterous host, you know what I'm saying? Something like Ism talk about Wolfman Jack, going back to Howard Stern, shock jock type of thing. So if you're looking for an educational, you know what I'm saying, meditation, yoga, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm about a good time, laughter, having fun. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do over there, man. So we crack jokes. We talk about celebrity junk, the recent events, but what I like to share with the audience is a lot of people now used to a black man on YouTube creating this podcast format. It's a listening format for you to listen to while you drive, clean, or just hang out. That's why my voice and my audio is set up in such a way to be pleasing to the ear and visually, so you could just put this on in the background. And I'm going to say some wild shit. I'm going to have a lot of vocabulary. You see the gray on my beard, so I'm going to have some wisdom. And we're going to talk about some hot topics and entertain you via podcast medium. I want to say thank you to my brother Ism. Shout out to Bad Gemini. Ism, I appreciate you sharing your panel and your platform with me. So thank you again for bringing me on. This has been a great discussion. I benefited from it. Whenever we're on a panel together, I learn, because these two brothers here are actually successful, intelligent men in the communities where they're from. So you can see I was excited about the conversation with Gemini because he's an intelligent dude. I'm always happy to support my brother, Ism. So, you know, y'all really benefited tonight from, you know, it's a treat with players meet. So it's a trio up here, man. So, you know, it's a good game, man. So thank you, Ism, for the opportunity, and salute to you, man, and everybody in the audience.
Salute, my brother, Perfect Timing. Salute from the yeah, man. So we all up in this thing, man. We gonna slide out on y'all, man. We gonna slide out on y'all, man. Let them know where they at.